Welcome back to episode 76 of the Shy Sports Weekly Podcast. Good show coming your way, folks. Ty, Kyle, how we doing, boys?
Boys, we are back. It is good to be back. It's cold as shit outside, but we're back.
Yep.
Better than ever.
We're building character with this bear weather outside.
And Bears aren't building character, but we are. No, great weekend. Had COVID last week. Shout out me for living. Probably still have it. I don't know. So funny thing, actually, I meant to mention this before. I was telling my dad about we were just talking about COVID and everything. He's like, yeah, I've never had it. I'm like, what do you mean? You're the one who gave it to me. He's like, well, I can't get it if you don't test.
That is true. I feel like that's the mantra these days. Like, have you heard of any NFL players missing a game because of COVID?
No.
Last year there was like at least 5 guys every week.
I know, and I was thinking about it in 2020 as well, especially during the playoffs. Like, there's no way, say before the Super Bowl, say Tom Brady tested positive, they're sweeping that so far under the rug.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it was fine. It just felt like a cold, like a bad cold, a little chest pain. But
Glad to hear you're back.
Compared to like smoking, you go out, you have a nice little bender, and you have a couple too many cigs. You wake up the next day and your chest is just tight.
One too many Camel Crushers.
You got like that little scratchy throat cough.
Yeah.
You're like, is this COVID or am I just hungover?
Well, that's what I thought on Sunday. And I was like, damn, this hangover kind of sucks. And I was like, wait a minute. It's Tuesday. And I didn't drink yesterday.
I've had it 3 times now, so I know my way around the
Third
COVID
time's a
block.
charm. Do you?
Unfortunately, yes.
You hear that phone call I just got?
No.
Can't hear any ringing.
No. Spam call just called me and I just accidentally answered it. So let's see. What do
Put
we
'em on the
got
pod.
today? Great. Yeah. Long episode, good episode coming up. So we got episode 76. Numbers. What do we got? I've looked up.
Tevin Jenkins, boom.
The only person I looked up, or didn't even look up, only person I know who's number 76. Literally, who else you got? You're
Saying Tevin
solo
Jenkins
on
is the only person.
That's all I got. Was it Jacob Galvis on the Hawks?
Yeah, yep, 2022. That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Jenkins really turned out to be a nice draft pick.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker.
He is.
Let's see.
Isn't that what he said when he got drafted? I'm a nasty, mean motherfucker.
It's always depressing seeing professional athletes that were born after you, but especially like 4 or 5 years after. Like, this guy was born in 98.
So there's one guy that played for the Cubs that wore 76 in 2000. His name is Daniel Garibay.
Oh, Daniel.
Never heard of him before 5 minutes ago.
It's fucking Daniel.
You look him up though. He had a pretty nice mustache.
How do you spell his last name?
Garibay.
Ibay. Garebe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
left-hander.
Oh.
ERA above 6, not good.
That sounds about right.
Hall of Famer.
His picture,
if I've ever seen one.
That is a dirty little mustache. I respect it. Respect the shit out of it. All right. 76s. Was John Tate a 76? No, he's 74. Come on. 76. John Tate. Fuck yeah.
I think wasn't Steve McMichael 76 too? Mongo?
Mongo
yeah,
Wood
he was. Yeah, he's definitely 76. Mm-hmm. Wow. John Tate. Remember that offensive line, that 06 offensive line? Bears, was it Reuben Brown, John Tate, Roberto Garza, Olin, Kreutz, and now I cannot remember who the 5th one was, but what an offensive line.
Wasn't it Fred Miller?
Right. Fred Miller. Thank you. Wow. Max, you're king buzzing today.
He's the dude that Olin Kreutz punched in the jaw at a barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what? I've never heard this story.
You didn't know that story? They got together
Fred
for like
Miller
a
was 69.
They got together for like a team barbecue, and Olin Kreutz got pissed at Fred Miller for some reason and punched him in the jaw. Might have even missed a game.
Bears Miller.
If Olin Kreutz punched me in the jaw, I'd retire.
Wait, hold on. There's an ESPN article from 2006 that says FBI to investigate fight between Miller and Kreutz. Why was the FBI involved? Olin Kreutz a bit of a psychopath, huh?
That's the
Miller-
reason
Miller
that
must-
Charles Tillman went to the FBI to solve the case.
I heard Fred Miller was
Yeah,
on
maybe.
the grill and he overcooked Olin Kreutz's meat.
Come
mess
on,
with a
that's
man's
not
meat,
actually
dude.
why.
That's not. We should try and get
I'm
Kreutz on the pot.
I'm
So
not
he
gonna
can
lie, I'm
punch
kinda
one of us in the jaw.
that would be 100% a Zoom interview.
That would be
I'm
the
not going
perfect
anywhere near
punishment
that
for
guy.
coming in last in our gambling picks. You get punched in the jaw
you
by
have to-
Olin Kreutz.
Says the guy coming off an 0-4 week.
I think you would have to have it wired shut for like a month to just hold it back in place.
More than that. I mean, he like Kreutz. This was a couple months ago now when he was at Chuggo. He like body slammed or choked out one of their reporters there. I think he just made like some joke about the Bears sucking, and then he just took it to heart and choke slammed them.
It's
So,
funny.
yeah,
He's
if
like
we interview him,
he's like a very involved former Bears player. He loves the team.
So Kreutz on the fight, things got out of hand. Something happened, and it just got out of hand. I don't know if it'll ever be completely gone, but we're over it. I like Olin and I don't have a problem with each other, said Miller, who has a steel plate in his jaw.
I take it back. I take it back. I would not be signing up for any punches to the jaw by Olin Kreutz under any grounds.
Hey, we're clipping
my
it and,
God, I
and tagging his ass right now.
No, I'm scared of him. Guys, that's a future starting five. Guys who you're just scared of.
Yeah,
NFL players you're scared.
we can do that one today. Honestly,
Ty's just gonna say Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, dude, he killed the guy. People forget that.
Ty leads the league in picking Ray Lewis for starting fives for just any category. Like guys you want to hang out with, Ty, Ray Lewis. Guys who scare you, Ty, Ray Lewis.
were you being
Doesn't
serious
care.
about the
Everything's Ray Lewis.
steel plate in Fred Miller's jaw?
Yeah, I swear to God.
Think about
I'll send you a
how
screenshot.
hard you would have to punch someone. Like how much force is behind that fist for him to have a steel
I'm like,
plate.
well, I struggle multitasking and like talking and reading, but yeah, it's
I struggle
says
with
here-
reading mostly.
talking and reading here, so it's a little
There's a reason that
suspect.
Olin had a C on his chest. Dude was a
Yeah, Miller
leader of
needed
men.
surgery last week. He needed surgery last week after initially saying he hurt his jaw in a fall at his home.
I can't believe you've never
He said
heard
he
this
fell at home
story.
and broke his jaw. No, dude, I literally have never heard of it.
Olin Kreutz bitched this man
This
out.
is
dude.
crazy.
Just fucking
Like,
bullied him.
Episode 76. That's how many teeth Fred Miller lost.
Oh my God, this is.
Should we get into on this days?
Oh God,
Moving along, dude.
yeah.
Shout out
I'm
Mongo.
still trying to
though.
read it.
Mongo McMichael was clearly the best number 76 in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm glad
sports
that
history.
that you had that one dialed up because I definitely would have forgot about him. Oh, I'm like dumbfounded about this Olin Kreutz story. This is like phenomenal. I love it. All right, on this days. All right, December 9th, 2013. Josh McCown throws for 348 yards and 4 touchdowns as the Bears beat the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. This was the game where it was freezing. It might have been one of the coldest games in Bears history when the wind chill felt like it was, I think, around -9. And this was also the game where they retired Dicka's number at halftime. So I was looking at Josh McCown's numbers from that 2013 season. And I'll give you like a background. This was obviously the Trestman year. So he started 5 games for the Bears. He appeared in 7. Over those 7 games, how many touchdowns do you think he had?
7 games. He started in 5.
Yeah.
Uh,
And one of the games he only had, so it's really 6 games because he only had 9 attempts in one of the games. So yeah, and
say
7
12.
games.
12.
He had 13 touchdowns. Guess how many interceptions?
2.
He only had 1 interception.
Wow.
So his numbers in that stretch for the Bears, he had a completion percentage of 67%, 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, 1 interception, passer rating of 109.8.
I mean,
He was
the
like
fact that anyone would
electric.
even be able to stand outside for 3 hours in -9-degree weather, let alone throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That game also had
Major
one of the
respect.
one of his touchdown catches was the Alshon, where he literally, seemingly he just launched it. What I thought looked like out of the end zone, like he was throwing it away, and somehow Alshon was in the back corner, just caught it, toe tap. It was miraculous.
Yeah.
He was just a
Him and
baby
Alshon
monster.
Jeffrey had some like legendary connections. Like I think they had some pretty big games together.
They did. I can't pull them up right now because it'll take me too long. But Ty, maybe you can look that up. Let's see how long it takes Ty to figure out.
Say it again, dude.
This is a new wrinkle for you.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Josh McCown like really busted Alshon Jeffrey onto the scene. Like I think that's kind of when Alshon started to break out.
No, I think you're exactly right. Because Cutler started the season, obviously, and his guy was Marshall.
Yep.
But once McCown came in, it seemingly took Alshon to the number 1 receiver spot, and it dropped. I can't say Marshall was number 2, but
I mean, I think Marshall was
seemingly
still
was.
getting his. Like he was still getting yards and scoring, but
I'm gonna get mine.
it was like a 1A, 1B situation.
All right, so I'm looking at Jeffrey's numbers with McCown. He had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns in those games. And let's see, he had one game he had 18 targets, another one he had 10, another one he had 15, and
I mean,
then
that's
9,
wild.
8, and 7. I mean, he still was getting targets with Cutler for sure.
Right.
He just
But like when
I
I
guess
think
the rest of the
Josh
season with
McCown having a
Cutler-
big game with the Bears, like the first receiver that comes to mind on the end of those throws was Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah, like so he had pretty much in 6 games with McCown, he had 4 touchdowns, and in 10 games with Cutler, he had 3 touchdowns. So it's not inaccurate by any stretch.
McCown
of
is
the-
like apparently like an offensive minded genius these days. People talking about him getting like a coaching job.
Have you ever heard his quote before talking about porn?
It kind of rings a bell. But
If you can find his,
What's
Isn't he
the,
like,
try to find it.
he's
So he
like very
talks.
against. He's
I don't
very
know the
against it,
context
right?
behind it, but I know at one point he was talking about. Oh yeah, it's like watching porn's like getting on a flight to Nebraska and you end up in Detroit. It's some shit like that. Like yeah, he's not a porn guy. He's probably first team All American non porn.
And that was like
He got a crazy contract after.
what's that?
What'd you say?
I said, and that was
I was
like
saying
for religious reasons, right?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely not for like fun. Hopefully not. He got a crazy contract, I'm pretty sure, after this as well.
I believe you're right.
Josh McCown. I was thinking about this. So the last 3 games of the season, I don't know what Cutler was out with. Was it? Honestly, I don't remember why he was hurt. But Cutler came back in week 14. They played the Browns and they won 38-31. Then they got smoked by the Eagles on Sunday Night Football, where if they won that game, they could have won the division. And then obviously the last game was the Randall Cobb last second. Do you think if McCown starts those last 3 games where they went 1-2, do you think they win the division? It'd be more specific, like if he starts that Green Bay game, do you think the Bears beat the Packers? I mean, they put up 28 points, but still.
Yeah. I mean,
McCown was slinging it.
yeah. It's hard to say. I'm not going to go as far to say that. because I don't think Josh McCown is like
Like it.
I don't know. We had a similar conversation about Kyle Orton and Rex Grossman.
I mean, but this is actually like Josh McCown was balling. He really was.
Right.
And it's not fair to say Cutler should have sat because in that Packers game he was 15 of 24, 226 for a touchdown and a pick. He had a pass rating of 103, so it's not like he played like dog shit.
Yeah. Probably a
But at the same time,
very poorly timed pick, knowing Jay Cutler.
yeah, honestly, probably.
It's like a back-breaking.
Do you
pick
want
to lose
that full quote from McCown here? Because it's pretty wild.
Yeah, of course I do. Let's hear
So
it.
that's what porn is a lot like. You go somewhere that you weren't expecting to go. You end up with that feeling of, where am I? I can tell you countless times where I sat at my computer looking at something, going through websites before, and sitting there going, wait, where am I? Who is this guy? If you're not careful, you'll end up being somewhere you don't want to be. End quote.
He probably could have just kept that one to himself.
Yeah, that might have been one to just holster. No need to make that.
That guy was baked when he said that. I guarantee it. That's
Keep
a
that one
that's a
between
solemn
you and-
guarantee.
No shot. You're telling me that guy,
You and your therapist.
this anti-porn guy is like going out and getting high? No, I don't believe you. It sounds like he's high, but
Yeah. If the
I'm
shoe
gonna say
fits,
he's not. If the shoe fits, that is true. All right, let's keep it moving here. December. We'll stick with the Bears here. December 11th, 2006. Devin Hester returns 2 kicks for kickoffs for touchdowns on Monday Night Football, setting the NFL record for 6 returns in a single season. This was, I think, the two big takeaways I had from this game. One, I think the Bears, when they wear the white jerseys and the white pants, sexy.
Yep. They need to do that more often.
Your offense looks better when you're in all white. You move faster. That's just a fact. And then secondly, I think it was the second return. He did the primetime, I don't even know what the dance is called. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The shimmy. What's it called? The Deion Sanders shimmy.
Yeah, that sounds good enough.
So, yeah, that I don't.
It's kind of like a high step into the end zone.
It's crazy to think that Hester's not in the Hall of Fame. I mean,
To be
you guys
honest, I-
changed the game.
I thought he was. And if he's not at some point, then that's an all-time snub.
I mean, I'm assuming he'll get in soon. It's just kind of crazy. I have a hot take, not even about the Hall, like the NFL Hall of Fame, but just the Hall of Fame, just Hall of Fames in general. How can you not be worthy to get into the Hall of Fame one year, but then all of a sudden you're worthy to get in
I
later?
don't think that's a hot take, but I also think it's
Things that
more-
you want to talk about things that don't make sense. Like that makes no sense.
No, it kind of does because there's levels to it. It's like guys that are first ballot, unanimous. Those are the guys that dominated the sport, were a complete lock. Like they have all these accolades, no doubt, slam dunk. And then as you go down the line, like Fred McGriff, how long did he wait to get into the Hall of Fame?
I don't know, a while.
He had to get like a special vote. Like I think it's the writers sending a message almost, or being like, all right, this is where you rank on the list of Hall of Famers.
So yeah, I mean, I guess from that standpoint, it makes sense. I don't like that though. It's stupid. What really is stupid is that I think there's only been one player in baseball history to receive 100% of the vote into the Hall of Fame. I think it's Mariano Rivera or Derek Jeter, one of the two.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But imagine
I
being
wouldn't
the
give a shit.
asshole.
I wouldn't care at all. If I was one of the guys, like if I was McGriff and I got like some kind of special vote after, the normal process was over, I wouldn't care because my name is going to be on one of those plaques in Cooperstown.
Well, like that's the same thing that happened with Ron Santo is they didn't, it was like the Golden Era Committee or the Contemporary Committee, whatever the case is. I think it was 11 years ago today, actually.
Yeah.
But he gets elected a year after he dies.
That was bogus.
It's like, gee, how is he a Hall of Famer now?
Right. I mean, that's rough.
In that standpoint, he had 40 years to be in the Hall of Fame. How is he a Hall of Famer in year 40, but not in year 39? Like I feel like you're either a first ballot Hall of Famer and then you're a Hall of Famer. It shouldn't be like you wait 10 years and it's like, okay, now you're a Hall of Famer. Like,
right.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I do kind of like the exclusiveness of the Baseball Hall of Fame, though. Like I feel like they really make sure that guys that get in are only guys that really should be in.
Okay, well, let's talk about that because David Ortiz is in. He's a steroid user, but Sammy Sosa, who's never failed a drug test.
Yeah, but did Ortiz actually get popped?
Yeah. Right in the ass.
Until Pete Rose is in, it's all a sham.
Sammy Sosa, the cork bat did not help Sammy either.
Yeah.
Like that was definitely a taint on his legacy.
All right, well, how about Barry Bonds?
I mean, he was like the leader of the steroid.
I mean, his head did get so big.
Right.
Hey, here's
His
my
head
take
had
on that, though.
massive.
Just because you're on steroids doesn't mean you can still hit a baseball well. Like, that dude had the
Definitely
most
helps.
pure swing in
I think
all of
what it
baseball.
does though is it gives you stamina, or endurance for throughout an entire MLB season.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Like everyone else is breaking down most likely by the end of the year.
And he's just getting stronger. He's like the Hulk. He looked like the Hulk.
His arms look like my thighs.
Like your torso
Yeah.
on a good day.
He's also a 30-30 guy, like at the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
And then he never stole a base again in his life after he turned 30.
I think my favorite thing with Barry Bonds is if you look at pictures from when he was a rookie, right? Was he on the Pirates? And then you look at pictures when he was, I don't know, hitting 73 home runs.
Yeah.
The size of his head is outrageously different. It's like, dude, what the fuck just happened? Like, what?
Shout out Fred McGriff, though. Former Cub, Hall of Famer.
I'm looking at Barry Bonds' career numbers. So before his 2001 season where he hit 73 home runs, I guess the year before he hit 49, but before that, his career high was 46 in 1993. But at the age of 37 years old, he hit 73 home runs. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's wild.
Listen, I don't give a shit. Let them all do steroids. Balls go farther. They throw the ball faster. Makes a fucking difference to me. It's not my body.
It sounds fun, but it's also not fair to the guys who didn't take steroids.
No, what I think they should do is like
Have a
NFL
steroids Hall of Fame.
That's a good idea too. No, I was thinking how not the NFL, how football has the USFL or the XFL.
Yeah.
They should just have a different league where it's just only prereq is you have to do steroids. Like if you want to be in this league, steroids only.
There's plenty of guys that would sign up.
Yeah, right. You're telling me you wouldn't watch the steroids league? Like say you're Nelson Cruz, you're 41 years old, you're like, fuck, I want to hang on. I can make like $1 or $1 million too. Playing 80 games, taking some steroids. Like, yeah, dude, I would do that. I know that's probably very unhealthy for you, but
So messed up.
You could gamble on it, have it on during the day. Are you kidding me? You might be
onto something. I don't know.
I honestly might be onto something. All right. Moving
I
on.
think you're just talking about wrestling, actually. WWE.
Yeah, no, that actually sounds exactly what I'm talking about. Wow, I didn't realize Barry Bonds played till 2007.
Yeah.
He played that long. Jesus. That was 2004. Look at this 5-year stretch for him. 49 home runs, 73, 46, 45, 45. Holy fuck.
Right. And you're sitting there saying, what about Barry Bonds?
He had an on base of 609 in 2004
That's crazy.
in 147 games.
I can't even do that in the show, I don't think.
I can't even do that playing T-ball.
Right.
It's outrageous. He did that in the MLB.
That is insane.
My God. All right. Well, sticking with baseball here, December 10th, 2014, the Cubs signed John Lester to a 6-year, $155 million deal. And then December 13th, 2009, Marion Hossa catches the puck out of midair, drops it, hits it like a baseball into the net. One of the most beautiful highlight reel goals of his career. So before the 2009 season, Hossa signed with the Hawks as a free agent. Obviously, in 2014, Lester signed. Two very big free agent signings for the Hawks and the Cubs, respectively. Who do you think, just whether it's Hossa, Lester, or player X in general, who do you think is the biggest free agent signing in Chicago sports history?
Man,
Good question. Good question. I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, and you're going to hate it. I think it's Marion Hossa, though.
How did the Bulls get Scottie Pippen?
drafted him out of Central Arkansas.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Have you seen The Last Dance?
I'm still gonna say Lester. I know the Blackhawks Stanley Cup dynasty is very important to you, but it's not as important to me as the Cubs World Series.
No, and I completely understand that, but I'm thinking like take your specific Cubs fan bias out of it. Say all like Cubs, Hawks, Bears, Sox, everyone. Say they're all on an even popularity playing stool.
Yeah,
pedestal. I think you would have to say Hossa is the biggest free agent signing in
I'd probably say
Chicago sports history, right? Jimmy Graham.
No, I think you're probably right. If you're talking about like all like as far as magnitude for the franchise and who capitalized the most or who catapulted their team into the most success, I think it's probably Hossa. You're right.
But if you're saying from a change of culture standpoint, you'd have to go Lester because the year they signed him in 2014, they didn't make the playoffs. They were 16 games under 500. Yeah, they had Rizzo, Castro, Baez came up. KB was on the verge.
Yep.
But they never made a playoff appearance with that core yet.
No.
So Lester his signing was like a changing of the guard.
Yep.
You know, where Hossa, the year that they signed him, that previous season, they actually lost to him in the conference finals when he was with Detroit.
It was the same kind of thing. It was like you're bringing two guys into the locker room that have done it before.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
like they just kind of know how to carry themselves.
Well, Hossa never won a Stanley Cup before the Hawks. He went to the finals 2 years in a row beforehand. Remember that? You probably don't. He was with the Penguins when they played Detroit, and the Penguins lost. Then he signed with Detroit, and then Detroit lost to the Penguins.
Wow. So he's the opposite of Pat Maroon.
Well, then he won the third year with the Hawks. So no. It ended up well. But yeah, I think it's depends on what lens you look at it through. But I think there's a very real case to say Marian Hossa is probably the biggest.
Not to mention that Hossa was one piece in the Hawks dynasty. Like there was so many great players on those teams, but obviously he was there for all. So,
and then you can't forget about Ben Zobrist.
Yep.
I mean, he's very underrated too. I mean, I know he came the following year, but
what did Patrick Kane say about Hossa recently?
He's like 12-inch cock. What?
Basically that. He was basically like he is the prototypical hockey player, like prototypical build of a hockey player.
He has the best assets of all the best players. He has not, I shouldn't say Connor McDavid, but he's fast, he's big, he's physical, he's got great hands, he's got Patrick Kane-esque hands. Not that he, utilizes them in that sense or in that way, but yeah, just he's just a 5-tool. He's a 5-tool player. Really, he's like, honestly, he's like the Mike Trout of hockey.
Yeah,
he's just so fucking good. Though he struggled in the playoffs a bit, but Mike Trout can't even get to the playoffs. So fuck right off. All right, let's go. Let's talk some Bears. I heard you were supposed to go to the game yesterday, and you bitched out. Do you care to comment?
I was never supposed to go to the game, for starters. If I was supposed to go to the game, I would have gone to the game. But I was supposed to meet some people to tailgate before the game and then not go.
And then you
went
just
to a wedding the night before, didn't set an alarm, woke up later than I wanted to, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm not.
Max is the king of not setting alarms.
Yep.
How fucked up were you on Friday or Saturday?
Not that bad.
Was this just a case you were a little too hungover?
It was a little bit of everything. I was tired. I went to bed at like 2, was slightly hungover. It was freezing cold out. Wasn't actually going to the game, so it was like motivation was lower than usual, I'd say.
However, the one thing that's not in your favor is that where they were tailgating, where you live, is probably like what, 3 minutes away, 5 minutes away. You're right there.
It's about a 15 to 20 minute walk.
Yeah, exactly. Not far at all. Okay, just wanted to get that out in the open and on record that you bailed.
Unfortunately, I have a pretty bad reputation when it comes to that, but
no, you?
Yeah, me.
No, I never would have guessed that. But let's go to the game. I let's do grades. I see this a lot, and I think it's kind of funny that how people grade like the offense, defense, and special teams because they just kind of like if they win, they're great. If they lose, they suck. But I want to hear your grades. Give me a grade on the offense as a whole, and not specifically just Justin Fields, just the offense as a whole. What would you give them a grade?
Does the play calling count?
That is part of the offense. Yeah.
C minus.
C minus, really?
Yeah.
Why?
First half, I thought they were great, and then they just kind of took their foot off the gas. It was almost like conspiracy theory. It was like they were trying to lose the game. Like they wanted to keep that second pick.
I kind of thought that too, because it
like they were running the ball on third downs. Like they make Fields makes a big throw to N'Keal Harry, and then what do? They basically just run the ball up. They got three straight plays and kick a field goal that gets blocked. Like, what are we doing?
I want to go into special teams now because I all of a sudden I hate Cairo Santos.
Yeah.
I don't think you could win with him.
He's missing a lot of extra points.
Well, it's not even that. Yeah, definitely. 2 specifically, but yeah. He doesn't have the leg. Like he's nice. Yeah. It's nice right now, but when you get to crunch time, the guy kicks with like a tight leg. Like It's just nothing.
I mean, there's guys like frickin' Greg Zuerlein hit a field goal from 60 plus this weekend.
He hit it from 60 and it looked like it would have been going from 70.
Right.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
But for, like the 40-yard missed field goal, the block kick, I don't know. It just seemed like it. Maybe it was.
I don't know how much you can blame a block kick on a guy, but it also did come out low, seemingly.
Very low.
Yeah.
Like outrageously low. And then even one of his made field goals. Granted, it might have been a bad snap, but it made like a crazy right hook and it barely.
Yep. It was moving directly to the right. I couldn't tell if that was the wind, but I did think he was going to miss it for a second.
It kind of looked like me kicking field goals out there. So I'm giving the special teams strictly because of Cairo Santos an F minus.
I should actually. I'll adjust my score for the offense to a C or a C plus.
Yeah, I was gonna give.
I thought Fields did look really good for the most part.
I'll give him a C.
Yeah.
Do you think? Or here, let's go before we get to my next question. Defense, give them a grade. I have 2 grades coming out for the defense. I'm gonna give them an A plus because that last touchdown, the overhit, that was awesome.
I would give the defense like a B minus.
I would give them a C.
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, it was just I don't know, just a bunch of nothing. Those guys are just useless. Jack Sanborn's pretty good.
Yeah, he is. He's making that Roquan trade look genius.
Yeah.
What I just can't understand though is it's like I don't understand the play calling. I can't get over it. If going into the game, I'm thinking to myself, all right, they're probably not going to call many design runs for Fields. They don't want him to take hits. They don't want a shoulder exposed. That's fine. But they're calling QB sneaks. Fields runs a 55-yard touchdown.
Oh my God, that was
amazing.
That was erotic.
But second of all, like if you're gonna basically like unhook the reins and just cut him loose, like then use him the way you should. Don't hand the ball off to David Montgomery on a 3rd and 6 when you're down 2 points.
Yeah, and then that's when I think that's when they settled for the 40-yard field goal, right?
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Yep.
And they were saying that the reason he didn't run a lot in the second half is because of the success that they had through the air. It's like, all right, well then fucking throw it.
Right.
Oh God. Pissed me off, but
it was nice to see Fields throw.
We just went right back to the offense, by the way.
Throw a few pearls to EQ and N'Keal Harry. That was impressive.
You're great in the defense and you just switch it right back into the offense. So that's impressive. You don't get that on any other podcast. I guess the only player on the defense that stood out really was Jack Sanborn. Besides that, I don't know.
I would say the DBs actually, for as banged up as their secondary is, the DBs really didn't look too bad.
Yeah, I mean take it or leave it. Give them a C.
Yeah.
All right. Now grade Justin Fields.
So I think he's more like in the
B minus.
right around a B. I'll give him like a solid B.
I'm giving him a B minus because I think that last interception he was just forcing it, and I don't like
Yeah,
that.
the last interception was bad. I mean, he seemed like he was just kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but he stared in that direction the entire time. Like he what's the word? Telegraphed where he was throwing the ball.
Yeah, he was zoning on one target.
But I will say the first pick, I don't think that was on him. I think that was poured out by EQ, and he didn't really fight at all to even knock the ball down.
Yeah, no, not in the slightest. I don't think that first interception was on him at all.
And this was his season high of passing yards, right? 250, 256, something like that.
I don't know. All right, let's get our stats department on that because I'm having a hard time talking and reading.
What was the question? I'm over here trying to.
I was just having a hard time just listening.
Yeah, he threw for 254 yards.
Okay.
So he was 20 for 25 for 254 yards. 2 of his 5 incompletions were picks.
He didn't have any passing touchdowns, all right.
No, just the run.
I would like to see him kill Harry on the field more. I think he only had 5 snaps.
Yep, I think, and I mean that was his only catch. But yeah, I agree.
I'm done with Dante Pettis. I mean, he really didn't do anything. He just doesn't do anything. That's the thing. He didn't do anything wrong. He just doesn't do anything like.
Here's the thing. If you give Justin Fields the weapons of like even, let's say, top 10 offenses in the league, I don't even need top 5. I don't need to tell you that he needs all of Jalen Hurts' weapons.
Mm-hmm.
I just think things go differently yesterday.
Probably, but also they're a team that's pretty much tanking and not even.
So I mean, you got to take that.
It just
got to take that into consideration.
It just stings more because it's the Packers, and I fucking despise Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
By the way, Packers fans, nobody gets more butthurt over like stupid nonsense on Twitter than Packers fans. Like I tweeted last week the run.
Dude, I couldn't get over some of those replies.
Oh my God. It was like, relax. Obviously, this is a fucking joke. He didn't score.
It's like you cross the state border into Wisconsin and nobody understands sarcasm.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah. That part of their brains just don't develop up there.
It's just full of cheese.
And then yesterday, I tweeted the same amount of NFC Championship game wins as Aaron Rodgers, and it's just a picture of Rex Grossman. And my God, you would have thought I said, like, I'm going to fuck your mother. Like, they were just outrageous. It was. I mean, they're soft. They're a soft, mentally weak fan base.
Yes, 100%. We're mentally tough.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm the epitome of mental toughness.
Right.
Hey, just know that I'm clipping this entire thing and putting it straight to Twitter, so I hope you're mentally prepared for that backlash.
No, please don't. Please
Talk
don't.
about
we're ready to go to war.
My name is Max Borshevsky, by the way. Max Borshevsky.
Here's my address.
Wait, not to mince words.
Yeah. All right. Anything else with the Bears, or do you want to talk a little Cubs and then wrap it up?
Yeah, let's do that. Hey, most importantly, maintain the second pick in the draft next year.
Yeah, they're the best at losing. So, all right, let's talk Cubs. Trey Turner's going to the Phillies, and then I just saw 2 reports right now that the Cubs reportedly have met with Carlos Rodon at the winter meetings. Wink, wink. And actually, another report just came out that John Lester has been helping sell Xander Bogaerts on joining the Cubs.
Wow.
Again, those are just headlines from Bleacher Nation.
Gotta love that from Big John. You saw Xander Bogaerts grew up watching the Cubs too.
I did. That
almost like he would fit right into this podcast with some of the names he was dropping.
I don't, and we'd still be all in on more so Carlos Correa, right? Of those two.
I mean, Correa has more pop, but I think Bogaerts is probably more durable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess not from a durability standpoint. I have no idea.
I mean,
they both seem durable.
I'm leaning Bogaerts
over Correa.
Yep.
Interesting. What if it took, let's say, 10 years, $300 $30 million to get Correa, but it took 10 years and 300 million to get Bogaerts.
I'm going Bogaerts. I mean, at that point, you're
saving
that,
$3 million a year only.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
we're
granted,
talking
30 million over 10, but
we're talking pennies at that point. Either way,
lots of pennies.
Either way, I'm still leaning towards Bogaerts.
Okay.
I mean, do you think that's what it's going to take to get either of them as a 10-year deal? Did Trey Turner set the market?
What was his deal? I forgot already.
It was 10 for 300 million or something like that, or 11.
No, it was 11 for. God, what the fuck was it? 330.
Yeah, sounds right.
God, I can't. Ty, can you try to find that for us?
Yep.
Come on.
I'm
300 million. 11 for 300 million.
So basically, we've just come to the acceptance point that MLB teams are just taking a loss on the last 3 years of these contracts, basically, right?
You're gonna have to if you're gonna sign one of these guys.
I mean, I feel like it hasn't always been that way. I feel like more and more over time you see that happen, and now that's just where we're at. Like the players have so much power that's what they're commanding, and that's what's happening.
Does it make a difference to you though that Correa he just turned 28, where Bogaerts he just turned 30? So essentially you get 2 more years of Correa's prime
window.
Yeah.
I mean that's a fair argument in Correa's corner, but go look back at how many games he's missed over the past 3 years.
Do you have that in front of you?
I'll pull it up.
I just think that Correa is a better player. I don't know, but I mean, I'm looking at whoever what his fucking name is, Bogaerts' numbers right now. He's a career 292 hitter. He just doesn't have the same pop. Like,
no, I mean,
15, 23, 11, and 56 games in 2020. I mean, 2019 he hit 33, but everybody was smashing the ball that year.
So Correa's never hit 30 home runs in a season, but he's also never played 162 games.
I mean, he played 148 in 2021, 136 last year. It's not like he's missing a ton of games.
Right. Well, 2020 he only played 58, 19 he played 75.
Well, 2020 was the 60-game season.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I don't know.
True.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's not durable. One season that he looked like he missed a lot of games. Oh, actually, fuck. I don't know. 2017, 18, and 19. Yeah, 109, 110, and 75. So
there's a bit of. I mean, he has more stains on his injury resume than Bogaerts does. I mean, Bogaerts is basically you can count on him to go out there every day.
That is true. I do think there might be something to Correa though, wanting to. And this is all just in my brain. Hypothetically, I think he has more of a chip on his shoulder to win. I could see him having more of a chip on his shoulder to win, considering his team just won the World Series in his first year without him.
So you're talking about intangibles now.
Yeah,
you're gonna pay a guy $300 million for a chip on his shoulder.
Hell of a chip. Chip. I don't know, and I mean, again, I sound like just the biggest meathead on the planet saying that because I have no idea. But
Bogaerts doesn't run much anymore. I mean, he'll get 10 steals.
I mean, does Correa run? No. Correa hasn't had a stolen base since 2019.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I lean Bogaerts. I get that he's not. He might be 5 home runs short of Carlos Correa on a given season, but I mean, he's not that far off either. Like he had 15 last year, 23 the year before, 33 in 2019.
I'll leave you with this. So the OPS plus in the last 3 seasons of where they could play 162 games, Correa had 137, 131, and 140. So that's right around, I'll say on average, like 37% above league average, right? Bogaerts in that same time frame, 139, 129, 131. So that's right around probably 35%. So realistically, they're very similar. They're not.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if you really could go wrong. So we kind of just argued and debated just to end up saying they're both nice.
I'll take whoever wants to come here, please.
So
I I think
You know
I'd
what?
be
I'm in on
happier.
Bogaerts. I'm in on Bogaerts.
I'm more in on Bogaerts because he flirts with hitting 300 every year. I
Because
like
his
that.
name starts with
I'm an old school stats guy. I still like batting.
yeah, batting average. Very underrated nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Bogaerts just because I think you're going to, if you sign Bogaerts, you're going to be able to just say X going to give it to you so many times. And
I
that's just
also
a money
have
maker.
for some reason, I have a soft spot for Red Sox players. Like it feels like my team of the American League.
Oh, 100%. They had the Curse. They had John Lester.
Yep.
I think it'd be a nice transition. I don't know. And maybe something with Correa does him being on the Astros and just the whole cheating scandal just not, I don't want to say puts it like a little damper on it, but it doesn't not put a damper on it, you know?
Yeah. To put it this way, like if either guy's hitting 3 for the Cubs in their lineup next year, I'm not going to be too upset.
No, I'm not going to be upset in the slightest if either one of them are hitting 3.
Mm-hmm.
That I'd be ecstatic. But that's talking Cubs. We're running long here. Ty, where are we at on time? We got to be close to
46
50.
minutes.
Nailed it. All right. Things that don't make sense this week. What do you guys got? Anything?
You go first. You had something.
I did. So I might have sent this to you on Instagram, but things that don't make sense to me. One is the length of a football field being only a par 3.
That is a good one.
So usually a par 3, I don't know, what, 130 to
A
100.
short par 3.
I mean, it would be a very short par 3.
Yeah, right. Like 130 to 160 yards.
Yeah.
But then it seems like the length of a football field. I'm like, I don't even know if I could hit it across the football field with my driver.
Well, I've seen you pull driver on par 3, so
Not a big deal. It works. It works.
wait. But I mean, think about this. How many yards is each end zone?
10.
10.
Okay. So I mean, the field is 100 each yard.
120.
Each end zone's 10.
So it's 120 if you go end zone to end
120
zone.
from goalpost to goalpost.
I feel like if I took, like, if I'm on a golf course, if I'm on a fairway and I'm like $120 out, I'm like, yeah, give me my 9. I'll run
I
it
have
up
to agree
there.
with you. Think about how hard it is to gain yards in the NFL from that perspective now.
Yeah. And
Or
then
like
I
when
feel
you're
like
standing somewhere and you're standing and you're looking 10 yards in front of you, you're like that's all you need to gain to get a first down, but it's seemingly almost impossible.
Exactly.
Especially when you have a Bears uniform on.
Yeah, I should stop golfing with my Bears jersey. Actually, that's what makes it so hard. But yeah, I don't know. I saw that and it really hit home.
Uh-huh.
But Ty, what do you got?
Decorating your house for holidays. I might have said this already, but Christmas is around the corner, so I figure I'll say it again, dude. But why?
You don't like decorating your house?
You're not a Christmas spirit guy.
We put up a tree, we decorated the tree, but as far as like outside decorations and shit go, it's like that's a lot of time and energy for one day.
I mean, it's
Sounds like you're just lazy.
I'm
Don't
just a
wanna do it.
Scrooge.
you do sound like the Scrooge.
Yeah, it's because I am.
Max, what do you got?
Honestly, not much.
Things that don't make sense. People tailgating a game and then not going.
Saying they're gonna go and then not going.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
The Hall of Fame, that was a good one. I know. Thank you. Shout out me again.
Yeah, good on you.
Good on me. All right, let's just go on the gambling picks because Max has nothing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Way to come prepared. All right. For last week's picks, Max, he came prepared last week with his picks and went an 0-4, so he sucks.
That's something that didn't make sense.
No, that actually made too much sense. So now you're 23, 21-1. Ty went 3-1, so he's coming up the rear here. He's 22-23, and I went 2-1 with the Monday Night Football pending, so I'm 26-17-1. Ty still in last. You go first, bud.
Ah, fuck. That's a damn shame, bud. Did I write it down or did I forgot where I wrote it? It's right here. I'm going Chiefs minus 8.5 against the Broncos, and good luck on the under on that one, Max. Never know
I
with the
saw
Chiefs.
that one. I saw that one, and I thought directly of Max.
That's a great one. The Chiefs with the points there or against the points is amazing.
Getting points or giving points.
Yes.
Max, your favorite.
You go first.
All right, I got Lions -1 against the Vikings. That makes no sense.
I don't know. The Lions are kind of hot right now.
Yeah, but they're 5-7, and I know they're at home, but
They won what? 4 of their last 5?
something like that. And I know they played the who did not the Jaguars.
Holy shit! The Cowboys are -17.
I know, against the Texans.
That's like one of the
Beautiful.
biggest NFL spreads I've ever seen, I think.
It's up there, yeah. I don't know if I think there was a 19-point spread a couple years ago that the team actually lost. I think it was the Dolphins against the Pats. I might be making that whole thing up, but
Wow.
I'm taking Lions -1. I'm a believer in Dan Campbell.
Okay.
So now you have to give us a pick.
Screw it. I'm gonna go Steelers -3. I don't think that really makes sense. I know Lamar Jackson isn't playing, but I do think the Ravens are kind of a fraudulent 8-4 team. So I'll go with Ty Steelers.
I like that. Very fraudulent. Ty, your dog.
I gotta go with that 17-point fucking spread there. I'm going Texans +17, Cowboys. Done deal.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot of fucking points.
Lovey's going to have the boys buzzing. I'm going back to the well. I'm going Jets +9.5 on the road against the Bills.
I like that one. I knew you were gonna take that one.
When I bet this in real life, I'm definitely buying the hook and putting it to 10. Because if it's like a 27-17 game and I lose, I fucking hang myself. But if
Doesn't have to be that way.
For the purpose of our picks, we can't buy hooks, so I'm going Jets 9.5. I'm a Mike White believer.
Okay.
Max, dog me.
This is assuming Tua doesn't play. Can I put a pick in contingent on that or no?
Tua?
Yeah.
Why would he not play?
He hurt his ankle.
No.
Yep.
Sure, I'll give you a contingency pick.
All right. So if Tua's out, I'll take the Chargers +3 at home. If Tua plays,
This is great radio right here.
I don't like many of the dogs this week.
I don't like any of the favorites. I like all the dogs.
Do you?
Yeah.
Man.
Man.
All right. If Tua plays, I'll go Giants +7 at home.
All right. I like that. Got to write if Tua plays. All right. Ty, you're over.
Steelers Ravens over 36.5. That is not enough points.
I think it is.
Think so?
Yeah. These are two shitty teams.
Pretty fucked up, man.
All right.
Just salty because George Pickens had 1 catch for 2 yards.
Yeah. Don't be salty. Steelers are on a heater, dude.
I'm gonna go with Max here, and if Tua plays, or if Tua doesn't play, I want the Eagles Giants over 45. However, pardon me, if Tua doesn't play, I want the Eagles Giants over 45. If Tua does play, I want the Dolphins Chargers over 52. All right, that works for everyone.
I'm with you. I get it. Makes sense. I like that over pick. I almost want to tail that with you.
Jump
I
on.
won't. I'll just go Vikings Lions over 53.5.
That's a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
It's so tantalizing, though.
It really is.
All right, let's wrap it up. Our unders, Ty.
I'm going Seahawks Panthers under 43.5.
That's a gross game. My under is Rams Raiders under 44.5.
Seahawks Panthers is one of those afternoon games that nobody in the Midwest gives a shit about. In the 3 o'clock slot.
The Seahawks Panthers is one of those games that nobody gives a shit about. regardless of location.
Truth. All right, I'll go Titans Jags under 41.5.
Yeah, that's a good one too. I like that. One game that didn't make sense to me, and I know Jimmy G's out, but the total being 37.5.
Yeah.
With the Niners being favored by 3.5 against the Bucks next week.
Mm-hmm.
That one kind of put my mind in a pretzel.
The Niners defense is really good.
It is. No, it's very good.
And
I know the Bucks defense is good, but still, it's a little confusing to me.
yeah, and I don't know how good Tom Brady is anymore.
He's good.
I was actually having this debate, and I was on the Brady side. Next year, if you're the Patriots, would you rather have Tom Brady or Mac Jones as your quarterback?
Tom Brady.
I think I agree.
100%. Is that even really a debate though?
Yeah,
Who would take Mac Jones over
Jack
Tom Brady?
Falis.
Exactly. I couldn't be more confident in my Tom Brady assertion there. Are you kidding me?
Brady is fourth in the NFL in passing yards, just so everyone is aware.
This year?
Yeah, he's just not getting the touchdowns.
I mean, I'm not surprised. All right, I'm taking Saints tonight. I'm actually gonna bet this. I'm taking 3.5. I'm buying the hook.
I like it. I think they're gonna win, honestly.
The Saints?
Yeah.
They got shut out last week. That's what I feel like. There's got to be a lot of money on the Bucks tonight.
Brady's kryptonite.
We could end this. You could just end the episode.
Brady's
right now.
kryptonite is the Saints.
88% of the money's on the Saints right now. Oh, I don't like that. That kind of scares me. Fuck. Not great. Best one yet though.
Take the Bucks.